I want to apologize for that first bell to take us into the sit. I didn't mean for it to be so loud. I was actually looking at people in their living rooms, and I think part of me was thinking, I have to get this sound all the way over to the other side of Charlotte. So please forgive me. You didn't strike that one, okay. Well, I want to welcome you again to Insight Meditation, Community of Charlotte. And just take a moment now to give yourself a little stretch, a little movement, look around the room, maybe smile at somebody. I'm happy to see so many of you here. And I'm going to be giving you what has come to, what I have come to see as a very, very practical teaching. And this is the teaching of non-self that kind of you don't hear about much because it's kind of a complex teaching. But I want to make it really simple in terms of like, it's really practical to use. And this teaching, we don't understand conceptually. Conceptually, we have to learn what it is, but we don't know it. We can't know it except on a more intuitive level, on a practice level. So when your mind wants to argue with the ideas, because I don't know, especially if you're new to this teaching, I don't know anybody's mind who doesn't want to argue with it. Mine certainly did when I first started. I was like, no, that's not for me. You can keep that one. But so just kind of hold it lightly, and we're going to do a little bit of practice, and I'll give you some practice ideas to really understand it through direct experience, okay? And if you were on the retreat, you get another little preview of it. So the Buddha taught just one thing: suffering and its end, okay? And he actually didn't want to teach it. He said people won't understand. And then he relented out of compassion. He said people wouldn't understand and then it was discussed with his companions. Some people have a lot of dust in their eyes. Some gave the teaching of the Four Noble Truths. We suffer out of ignorance. We're not seeing things the way they actually are. And we don't see ourselves as we are. Everything is constantly changing. So because everything's in constant flux and flow, there's no constancy, there's no certainty. So our minds, like when you said, okay, I'm going to sit and be aware of my breath, were you able to find some constancy there, or were you working with it? It's always changing. The mind's always changing. Our emotions are changing. Our bodies are changing. This room is not going to be here at some point, So because of that, we cling. We cling. We want things to stay the same. So we're innocent. We just are trying to deal with, not only is everything outside of us changing, relationships, circumstances, but we are part of that change. So we're not this permanent, stable being looking out on a changing vista. We're all changing in and out. So the answer to this ignorance, not seeing things the way they are, is seeing what? That everything's constantly changing, including us, that there's no constancy. So there is an underlying sense of instability or stress, and it's called dukkha, okay? And this is typically translated as suffering, but stress, unsatisfactoriness, it's kind of on a low level and sometimes great experiences of pain and suffering. So I will, so the Four Noble Truths inherent in life is stress or dukkha or suffering. The second truth, the cause is our clinging. The third truth is we can end suffering by non-clinging. And the fourth is the path, the noble path. So Bhikkhu Bodhi, in this wonderful little book, Noble Eightfold Path, the first noble truth is the truth of suffering, the inherent unsatisfactoriness of existence revealed in impermanence, pain, and perpetual incompleteness intrinsic in all forms of life. So those are the three he just mentioned: impermanence, pain, and incompleteness, perpetual change in life forms, in our forms. So this is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering, aging, sickness, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation. Don't we lament so many things? Pain, grief, and despair are suffering. Association with the unpleasant is suffering. Separation from the pleasant is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates of clinging is suffering. So in brief, the five parts that we take to be a human is suffering, okay? So what are those five parts? Form, the body; feelings, which is sensation, it's pleasant, unpleasant, neutral; perceptions, the way we see things; mental formations is the fourth; our stories, memories, emotions, our identity, our views; and the fifth is consciousness. So just like everything is arising and passing, all those five parts of us are arising and passing, which makes us feel out of control, unstable. So we cling to find some sense of stability. So if we could let form all our senses and thought in this cosmology, thought is right along with smelling, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, seeing. If we can just, seeing is aware, is happening. A thought is occurring. Sound is happening. As opposed to, I am seeing, I am hearing, I am thinking. There is a spaciousness that we can bring. So the next one, feelings, pleasant, unpleasant. If we can, this is pleasant, or this is unpleasant, without taking that leap, I like it, I want more, I want it. If we could just experience the arising and passing without bringing that I, that kind of urgency, that me, I want this, I need to have this. We reduce our clinging. When we reduce our clinging, what do we reduce? Our suffering. I'm suffering with the dry mouth right now. take it back. A dry mouth is occurring, and now it's no longer dry. And perceptions, they've changed our whole lives, the way we see things. If we can just, that's a perception that's a perception that's happening, as opposed to, I see it that way, therefore it's right. Or that brings us to kind of self-righteous. Yeah. So these things just happen. They just happen instantaneously. The fourth, mental formations, is when we can have some agency. So we can notice our stories. We can notice memories and future and past, and we can stop and go, there's a story. Okay. We can take the I out of it, just like in meditation. Well, if we can say, this moment is like this, or there's meditation without the meditator. I don't know if you tried that on, but the moment I do that, the moment I say, the moment that experience of meditation, okay, here's the body, the breath, and I take out, I'm meditating. The moment it's I'm meditating, I got to get it right. Or I've got, there's some pressure. There's like, I am doing this. I am trying to have this occur. I am blah, blah, blah. Okay? And the same thing, consciousness is all six senses are consciousness. That's just, we're not dead. It's basic awareness that we turn into I am conscious of this or that, So it's actually pretty practical. To the extent we can reduce our clinging, to that extent we can reduce our stress. So compassion is really important. Because, of course, in our daily lives, we're going to be eyeing and meing and mining all over the place. And it's convention. But the moment we start to get a sense of we're all changing, we're all in this together, there's this compassion for this circumstance that we're in, all of us. We are all walking each other home, like to the same unknown. We're all in this together. So compassion for this, for showing up, for working with this teaching is really going to be helpful. Metta as well, metta. So really one of the teachers that a lot of us have studied with, Bhikkhu Analayo, he'll just say at the end of some of the sits that you read, don't cling as you're leaving the room. Don't cling. Don't cling. So those two words you can bring with you during the day. Don't cling. When there's distress in you, there's I making, there's me making, there's clinging. Okay. So any moment, and it's usually future or past. So any moment that you notice unease going on, you can pause. Okay, what am I? What's clinging? What clinging is happening here? What am I clinging to in this moment? You can notice pleasant and unpleasant. That's the second satipatthana of feelings, just without taking it to I want, I like. And you'll notice more tolerance for, okay, it's cold. Cold, there's coldness, there's chill. When it's I'm cold, I'm chilled, all of a sudden there's this kind of suffering. And I've noticed working with that there's just more space to experience all the varieties. A good one is hunger. Hunger's present. Anytime I stop and go, oh, hunger. When I remember to say hunger is present, I'll stop and notice it in my body. Where is it? What's it feel like? What's the location? Kind of do some investigation, which is one of the factors of awakening. The first factor is mindfulness. The second is investigation. So just kind of going and exploring it. Sometimes, and then you see, I'm always surprised. Now, I'm not aware of hunger now. It's just, and all of a sudden I'm aware, period, and I'm seeing colors, the variety of greens that we have right now in Charlotte. Um, so let me give you another thought. Remember, relaxation. The more you can relax, the more you'll be invited to be here now. This moment is like this. The metta phrase, may I be safe from inner and outer harm. Of course, we don't have to worry about tigers and nowadays. So it's really, may I be safe from incessant obsessive thinking, or the moment that I can notice this moment, this breath, this wish, this goodwill that I'm experiencing for myself. I'm out of the thinking mind. And I have the sense of this, may I be safe, may I feel protected and safe. And the breath, that's like safe. As soon as thinking comes in, there's a sense of it's not, unsafety. That's for you to try. That's for you to see. Okay. So I have that in me. It's like, safe, safe. This breath, this body, I can relax. And versus thinking and identifying. So Ajahn Chah, who we love to quote, he's a bomb. He says, it's really all you're doing is know and let go. So what is the opposite of clinging? So clinging is suffering. Non-clinging, letting go. So we know what's arising, whatever is happening, and let go. Now, let me say, it's not as easy as that. Okay, how do I let go? How do I let go? So knowing is really seeing with more, it's not a mental knowing. It's an intuitive knowing. There's distress. There's stress. There's unease. There's some clinging. And we can just come home to this moment in this body. And in coming home to this present moment is letting go, it's acceptance. The moment we're accepting this moment is like this, in this moment, we're not clinging, we're not suffering. So can we try it? Let's try it. Okay, so just close your eyes, if you will, and just, you can use those words, this moment is like this. Continue for a moment and bring in the I. In this moment, I am like this. Me. Notice the change. I'm like this right now. And go back to dropping the I. This moment is like this. Now we'll switch to the other technique of what is present in this moment. What is present? We'll ease our eyes open. Unless everybody had tiredness present and you all fell asleep. So I don't know, that is what you can play with. And that's how you'll understand this teaching, not conceptually. You need to know about it, but that's not how you'll learn, that's not how you'll understand it. Okay, so I invite you to take this into your day, into your days, play with it, see if you can not cling, and see if you have more ease.